I'm back 3 weeks after open heart surgery. Woo, that's a big procedure. Actually, I had several procedures done at the same time. Bypass, triple bypass, and valve replacement. It's the high holy days of procedures in the operating room. I survived so far. No, but the prognosis is good for complete recovery. And instead of dropping dead from a massive heart attack in a few years, I'm going to be here for a while. What a blessing. A miracle. Surgery. But the recovery doesn't happen quickly. It takes months. Cutting the body open through the chest like this, it's a shock to one's body. It takes weeks, months to recover from that. Months to totally heal. When I came home from the hospital, I was like zapped, couldn't move. Could barely walk the first 4 or 5 days. And there was pain. Not overwhelming pain, but annoying pain. And pain that still exists for me. Not as bad as it was, but it's still around. But life is full of pain and suffering. And this pain is the price I must pay to survive this surgery. I think that's a fair price to pay for being reborn, which is essentially what happened here. Bret 2.0. How have I changed? Well, I'm much more in the moment. Part of that is the thoughts about my mortality, how close I came to death, how lucky I was to be able to get the procedure when most people on the planet can't. Why me? And other thoughts, other things that go through your mind as you're lying there in the hospital on these tubes and being monitored in the intensive care unit. It's amazing. You know, for all my, I don't want to say ridicule, but skepticism about the healthcare system in America, when push comes to shove, I was able to get world-class healthcare for not a lot of out-of-pocket expense. I'm sure the whole procedure is going to be $100,000. I'm not going to pay anywhere near that. First 6 weeks, kind of difficult. Supposedly, that's what the doctors tell me, and everyone said after that. The process continues, but it's not quite as much discomfort. I'm experiencing some discomfort on my leg, my right leg, where they harvested the vein because they took something out and they rerouted other sections of it. And these bodies are complex. I mean, it's a 5 or 6 hour operation. They go into your body like this. I mean, I say I'm reborn because to do these procedures, they have to put you on a heart-lung machine. You ain't breathing and your heart ain't beating. Some machine is doing that for you. What you was at that moment that your breathing and your heartbeat went elsewhere. Then it comes back 2 or 3 hours later. Doesn't affect the brain, but I think it does affect the brain. That's my theory about that. I don't see how you could go through these kinds of procedures without being affected. I feel it's a transformational experience. When I came home from the hospital, I was living at a much more basic level than usual. I mean, I could not get around. I needed help in many areas. I'm blessed with a wonderful soulmate, Sherry, who's been taking care of me. So living at this basic level where everything is like slowed down. I'll tell you what it's like. See if you can relate to this. In 2004, I was in New York at the Hotel Americana, whatever they call it now, at a conference for the International Association of Jazz Educators. This is a big, wonderful event with a lot of musicians and students and people in the music industry, the jazz business. It's kind of an oxymoron. While I was there, I got a fucking kidney stone. It hit me in the middle of the night. It got worse and worse and worse. By 9:30, they had to take me out of my room on a stretcher, which was quite an experience. So I'm on a stretcher. They come off the elevator into the lobby of the hotel. I see all these, I'm lying on the ground basically being wheeled. I look up, I see all these legs. I look up further, I see some people I know. At first I thought maybe I should say hello. I said, no, that's probably not appropriate. And then suddenly a friend of mine walked by, Bob Mintzer. He looked very busy, as he usually is, on his way to someplace. 90 seconds after that, I was in an ambulance. 15 minutes after that, I was in a hospital. Half an hour after that, I had some morphine, and there was no more pain. Thank God. Kidney stones are the worst. So what I've done during these past 3 weeks regarding pain management, I don't like opioids. They constipate me horribly. I try to avoid them whenever possible. I took in the hospital, I was in the hospital 4 days, I took Oxycontin twice. And when I came home, they gave me another less intense version of that. Tramadol, I think it's called. I took that once, same effect. So, what I've done for pain medication is Tylenol and cannabis. And I haven't had many episodes of really intense, searing pain. The pain I've experienced, sometimes it's just a matter of stopping for a moment, closing my eyes, doing some deep breathing. But for a pain that's annoying, I take Tylenol. And I have a formula of cannabis with CBD that relaxes me, helps with the pain. And those two things have basically gotten me by in the past 3 weeks here. Some people experience depression in these kinds of situations. I really haven't. I mean, I've had moments in the recovery phase where, what if this doesn't get better? You know, Buddhist expression, monkey mind, that voice inside, that critical voice. Why aren't you doing this? What about this? This will never happen. That voice can't be silenced. You have to acknowledge it and move on. So I've had some moments, what if I don't get better? What if this thing doesn't go away? But those are momentary, because I happen to be in a very positive place right now. I have a wonderful soulmate, Sherry, who is soon to relocate outside the United States. More about that another time. I'm finishing up a project I've been working on 3 years now. They Will Not Replace Us. Film about anti-Semitism. It's been an incredible journey. Why 3 years, you ask? Well, why 3 years? COVID and open heart surgery. Those two things kind of slowed me down. But I'm back on the track. I would say my message, don't fear open heart surgery. If indeed you are lucky enough to have it, it can save your life. There is a recovery process. There's a lot to be learned during that recovery process about healing, about patience, about compassion. Certainly, the wonderful support I've received from by close personal friends, other friends around the world, people who know me on the internet. It's very nice, very, very nice. It helps. Really does. Thank you.